wanted to make sure I had the do not disturb on and the Wi-Fi off so I could look a little bit clearer. But hey, it's Friday. Okay. So I actually am not going to be here long at all. I just wanted to check in with y'all because y'all know I got to check in, weekly on these Fridays to see how y'all doing and to let y'all know how my week is going. So I just came from going out to eat with my teacher bestie that I used to teach with, and this is like my third time seeing her this week, so I'm like super excited. We've been at basketball games all week for our kids. So I'm actually I just pulled up at a high school now, so our kids in the state are in the state playoffs, and so like I said, this is the third school's game that I'm going to this week, so that is what I am doing right now. So yes, I hope you guys had a great week though. I know my week has been super busy. Next week is gonna be busy too, but not like this week. Like this week, I want to say Tuesday, I got up at 6 o'clock. My day started at 6 a.m. and it was not over until midnight because I go skating on Tuesdays, and like skating is something that I'm trying to make a non-negotiable because I really do enjoy it. But y'all, let me tell y'all about this skating though, okay? Now I have you here. So my baby cousin, and she not a baby, she grown, she in her 20s, but she's still my baby. So my baby cousin, she came to the basketball game because it was my little brother had a basketball game on Tuesday. So she came to the game. So after the game, I'm like, cousin, you should come skating. Like, she been saying she want to learn how to skate. Now I make videos for like my family and friends that I post every Friday, right? So she was like, okay, I'll come. I don't know how to skate though. I said, I got you. Like, I'm not a pro yet, but I'm getting there, so I can teach you the basics, okay? Y'all, first of all, baby cousin, when she said she couldn't skate, she wasn't playing. You know how people like me, I used to be like, oh, I really couldn't skate, but I could get around the rink, you know what I mean? And I don't have to be touching the walls when I started off. Like, I can, keep my balance to get around. Baby girl couldn't skate. Y'all hear me? Like, I was nervous, okay? Baby girl had me nervous. So I'm like, cousin, like, you can't skate for real. And at the skating ring, there's the skating ring, some of it is wall that you can kind of hold on to, but then like some of it is like a flat wall and you just have to really navigate your way. And so I got her around a couple times, and when I tell you the couple times she thought she was gonna slip, I'm strong, I'm big body, so I'm like, I got you, girl, like I ain't gonna let you fall. So a couple times she almost had a little slip up. I made sure she was okay. Well, this one particular time, she was being grown, and she was like, I'm gonna go around. So I'm like, okay, cousin. So I'm like, you cool? I'm about to go around. One time it was a song that I had liked that was on, so I was trying to be cool and get a little, I was like, I can lap around her a couple times and get back to her, right? Because she ain't going that fast. Y'all, so I done made a little lap, made a little another half of a lap. I get back over there, baby cousin falling, but it's like slow-mo. And it was nothing I could do. Y'all, baby cousin got a concussion. Baby cousin couldn't even go to work. They told her, she went to work the next day, and they told her that she needed to call off work for the next 3 days. So my granny calling me today. She like, is your cousin okay? She's still laying down. I was like, well, she need to be getting some rest. That's what they told her. But she does have a mild concussion, and I feel so bad. And I'm like, it wasn't even her fault though. That's the bad thing. Like, somebody literally like bumped into her, and she just, because she don't have no real skate balance anyway, she don't know how to like fall properly because she don't be skating to fall, So baby cousin, y'all keep baby cousin in y'all prayers, okay? Because I felt so bad, and I was like, I don't want you to be like scared or feel like you can't ever come out here and skate, because she was getting better, y'all. She had only got around the rink about 3 times, but she was getting better. Like, every time she went around, baby cousin was getting better. So I was just sad. I just had to tell y'all. I had to give y'all that little story time. Just keep her in your prayers, okay? So that was Tuesday, Lord. Y'all know I've been teaching my massage therapy students, and we just finished up week 5, so I have 3 more weeks left with this cohort, and this went by like super fast. So I'm just like, OMG, like I can't believe it's almost over. This week I taught them, we went over a bunch of stuff. We went over musculoskeletal diseases. We went over the lymph system, and then we went over cardiovascular system. So they had a lot of stuff to go over. So next week I want to say we're going over immune system, and then I think I'm going to be starting endocrine, and if I get some time, digestive. So I got a lot left to do. I teach them each like week. I'm going over like different systems. So that is where we are now. I'll be doing some review with them, and then they have like a final for the class that they have to do, but I don't have to actually administer that. I'm just responsible for teaching the material. So yeah, so that is that. What else is going on around this way? I did a panel today with some previous clients of my productivity coach, because she's getting ready to start a new cohort for other small business owners to help you take your projects from half finished to done. And I told y'all know how much I brag about having a productivity coach last year. That was literally my best investment last year. Like, I'm so grateful that I was like, had opened up the email. I didn't even know her personally. She was on another person's email that I was subscribed to. They had featured her and was like, hey, come to this webinar. And I just happened to go to the webinar, and I didn't even know that's what I needed in my life. So it was amazing. Elise said, sounds like you're so busy. Glad you're doing okay. Hope your cousin gets better. Thank you so much. And it's not the cousin that's on here, Brianna, that's on here most of the time on the live. It's another cousin. But no, thank you so much. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the days have been like super. Going back to Tuesday, like I know I said, just to give you like an idea of what some of my days look like. So like Tuesday, like I work out in the morning. Then after I worked out, I had to meet with a client. Then I did a 5-hour workshop from like 12 to 5, and then I had to teach from 5 to 7. So I had to let my class know, like, hey, I'm going to be 15 minutes late because I have a 5-hour workshop, with the client. And then after that, I had to go to the basketball game, which started at 7, but of course I got there late because I had to teach. And then after that, the game was like 7 to like 8:39, and then I went skating after that. So some days are like super hectic and just crazy. This is just one of those weeks. I'm like, I have to have everything in my calendar, because if it's not in my calendar, it does not exist. And I do not want to like miss things that I'm supposed to do. So like my calendar is so important for me. Oh, and then Tuesday I forgot I had Spanish. Yeah, so I had to work out, then I had Spanish, then I had a client, then I had another client workshop. So yeah, the days get really crazy some days, but I'm grinding. This isn't going to be a forever thing. Louise, I wanted to tell you, I haven't announced this yet, but I am considering relocating to Mexico. I'm between Mexico and Costa Rica. But Mexico is like really high on my list. And yeah, I wanted to share that. I haven't officially like shared it, to be honest. But those, and then I keep on getting these like confirmations. So like my productivity coach, we're on a call today. I'm talking to her. She's like saying something. I was like, yeah. She was talking about Mexico. And I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about relocating to Mexico. She was like, what? I just moved here. And I was like, well, it's between Mexico and Costa Rica right now. She's like, what? No, you have to come to Mexico. She's like, we'll have to talk later, because I'm going to have to tell you why you have to come to Mexico. So I'm really excited. And then when I was in Atlanta and I did like a coaching session with a coach that was on the staff for the conference, I was telling her that I was considering going to Mexico. And she was like, oh, I live in Mexico. She was like, I've been in Mexico for like 6 months. And before she was in Mexico, she was living abroad in Colombia. So I was like, no way. So it's just adding up to another level. I was telling my friend, like, I'm thinking about going to Mexico. She was like, what? My friend she travels. She's a nomad. And she was like, she travels. And I was like, yeah, I really got inspired by this girl who has a blog. I was just Googling, and the girl was talking about like the cost of living in Mexico and how it was so reasonable. And I was like, what? If I can move to Mexico and keep my like monthly expenses under $1,000, like it's a done deal for me. And she was like, oh yeah, my friend is such and such. She literally told me who her friend was. That is the exact girls whose blog I have been like reading. So I was like, what? I was like, that's your friend? She was like, yeah, we went to high school together. I said, oh, this is crazy. Went out to eat with another friend. She's a emergency medicine doctor, and she was thinking about relocating. And she was like, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about relocating to Mexico or Costa Rica. She's like, oh my gosh, I have some resources for you for both places. Y'all, when I tell y'all, everything is just aligning up and like so crazily. I'm so excited. Let's see, Louise said Tuesday, I also have a dedicated self-care activity that I'm trying to make non-negotiable. That is excellent. Is it your singing by any chance? You don't have to say what it is, but I'm just thinking about you and your singing. You said it's definitely important balance. I just went to a basketball game for my teacher, friends, students too. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. So the game I'm at now, my kid, I call my students, they're my kids. So these are actually, I call this specific group of boys, they're all seniors. Those are my nephews that I used to teach. So my nephew, he's getting ready to play. And it's crazy because he's been out all season because he broke his wrist before the season even started. So this is going to be his first game back, and it is a state playoff game. So it's a pretty big deal because you either win or you go home. My little brother's team, they played Tuesday. They lost, so they're completely out of the tournament. Wednesday, one of the nephews at another school, he played. They won, so they play again Saturday. And then now nephew playing today. Different nephew playing today who had transferred from the school I taught at. So long story short, I've been super busy. I got a lot of games coming up in the next week. And then Louise said, oh, wow, lots of change. Any places you're considering specifically? The crazy thing, no, I don't know. And it's so crazy. I've been looking at names. I couldn't even give you the correct pronunciation for some of the places. Like, I can picture them in my mind, but I haven't really gotten that detailed yet to where I want to go specifically in Mexico. I know I don't want to go to Mexico City. I know where I don't want to go, I guess, if that makes sense. But where I want to go, the girl that I just met recently that lives there, she told me she has a realtor. She was asking me if I wanted to stay in the city or if I wanted to stay like near the beach. So I'm kind of torn. Like, I prefer to stay by the beach just because I like living by the beach and having access to the beach. And especially with me not having a car or not wanting to have, well, I have a car in the States, but I don't want to bring my car with me. I definitely, need to keep that in consideration, is like how the transportation will be. So it would be nice, like, if I could live in like maybe like a beach town possibly, because I really want to get immersed in a community, which has been hard to do like in Puerto Rico in comparison, because I live in like a resort style community, and then I don't have a car there either. But I feel like if I move to Mexico, for one, I feel like I can pick up the Spanish a little easier. No shade to Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans, but they speak so fast, and it's like a lot of Spanglish as well. So I really want to pick up on my Mexican Spanish specifically. My tutor is Dominican, but she does teach me like the basics of Spanish. So I think that if I do end up making the decision to go to Mexico, that I I think I want to keep my tutor because I love my tutor, but I think I'm also going to get a Mexican tutor as well. And then I'll just have 2 tutors. I know it might sound a little silly, but I think I'll just have 2 tutors. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah. Louise said, when the Lord speaks, he sometimes screams. No, for real. Like, that's what I'm like. And it's crazy because literally the first 2 places that came to mind was like, oh, Mexico or Costa Rica. Like, I didn't even think about it. And then now I'm like, well, is that really where I want to go? Like, I'm second, kind of second guessing if I really want to go to those places. But it is a very high consideration right now. I will tell you that. It's very high. And I'm thinking of like relocating like this year. So like July. Maybe end of July. So I will definitely be keeping you guys up to date with what that will look like if that's something that I end up deciding to do. Louise said it is. I'm taking vocal lessons again. Oh, that is awesome. Are you taking your vocal lessons in person or are you doing them virtually? And then I think we had talked about the vocal coach on YouTube. I can't think of Cheryl. Oh, she is the bomb. Oh my gosh, I love me some Cheryl. I love watching her do her vocal lessons. She's so good. Louise said, cool, I'm sure it'll help with the language. Yeah, I really want to be, I would love to be fluent in Spanish by the end of 2023. That is my goal. So I really have to step my game up. It was so funny because when I was doing Spanish, my Spanish lesson, I want to say either this week or last week. No, it was last week. I told my tutor, I said, look, thank you for being patient. I said, I'm going to step my game up, I promise, because in my lessons, I only am allowed to speak to her in Spanish. Like, she doesn't even, like, play with me anymore. So, she is very, like, what did you say? Like, I didn't understand you because you said it in English. So, it's been interesting. She's been really pushing me, but I know that I need to be dedicating more time to my Spanish, and I have not been. If I'm honest, I have Spanish lessons twice a week, and since I've been back in Ohio, like, that has been the only Spanish I've really been doing. I will watch like a cartoon before class, usually like Curious George, or I was watching La Reina del Flow on Netflix, which is the Queen of Flow, and it is so good. It's based, I want to say it's based in a Colombia telenovela. That's what I want to say, but it's really, really good. So, but yeah, I have not been like doing anything extra, and so sometimes she'll like say a word and I'll be like, ¿puedes repetir? Like, can you repeat that? And she'd be looking at me like, ma'am, you know what that word means. Hey, cousin girl. Brianna's on here. Cousin, I'm talking about me potentially relocating to Mexico and about my Spanish lessons and how I'm trying to get my life in order with these Spanish lessons, so I can get fluent by the end of next year. Louise said they are virtual. Oh, and Louise, we were talking about like the thing that we are doing for like our self-care activity, and I was telling him how I'm trying to make my skating non-negotiable, even though skating is on the whole like other side of town and I'm over it sometimes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go all the way over there. I still want to, make sure I'm doing it. So he is doing virtual singing lessons right now. Let's see, unfortunately, but it's better than nothing. And yes, Cheryl is so cool. Practicing it is the best. This is why advanced Spanish in high school is done in all Spanish, no English. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't have no choice. She talks to me, and I will say, like, when I'm back on the island and stuff, I am definitely, most of the time I don't have a choice but to speak Spanish, but of course it's still pretty limited because I'm only really needing to use my Spanish when it comes to like ordering food, which I feel confident ordering food or like asking for something specifically, but I want to have like more like leisure conversations and more advanced conversations. So I am going to be working, really, really hard this next year and a half because I want to be fluent by the end of 2023. So yes, cousin said, "Hey Louise." Louise said, "Hello." Brianne said, "Be prepared." Be prepared for what, cousin? You see, I'm at the car. Cars are starting to pull up for the game now. I'm like, oh, I'm shocked there's not more people here. Actually, in the parking lot. Random side note. Oh, and then Louise said, cool, I'm sure it'll help with the language. Different states in Mexico have different ways of speaking, just like people from New York versus people from California. Oh, no, for sure. I definitely believe that for sure. Even in like Puerto Rico, like, you know, depending on where they lived on the island, like if they were up in the mountains, like they have a way different dialect than like people in the city or like the rural areas. Cousin said, I don't know why. Be prepared for what, cousin? Cousin, what you talking about over there? I'm sorry. You know it'll be a delay, so sometimes I don't see your message like in alignment with what I'm talking about. Oh, cousin, you said you don't know why it's like not more cars here at the game. I see, like, there's more people pulling up, but I would think, you know, the game about to start in a couple minutes. At least I'm on the wrong side of the parking lot. I hope not. So yeah. And Louise, are there any other languages that like you would be interested in learning yourself? Oh, I got you, cousin. That's what I was like. Okay, I figured you was talking about the game. Yeah, I see more cars pulling up, but it's not like a... I mean, I can literally count the cars out here. It's not a lot of folks out here by any means. So yeah, but yeah, I was telling them too on the live about how baby cousin had got a concussion from going coming skating and how I felt bad because I'm like, man, if I was over there, I would have fell for you, but I wasn't over there. I just came, I saw the aftermath. I would love to learn American Sign Language. Oh my God, American Sign Language. That my mom is like super pressed to learn American Sign Language. I remember when we were younger, our church that we went to, we had a few like ASL classes that we were able to take because we had interpreters at our church for service, and one of the ladies, she would like teach us after church sometimes. So I know what I remember is like the alphabet. That's pretty much the extent, but that is definitely like, once I get my Spanish down, like ASL is something I want to learn and it's really important. My mom's like, I have to learn. I'm like, okay. Louise said also Italian and French or Latin. Oh, nice. Well, Latin definitely will be helpful for medicine for sure. All of those root and prefixes and suffixes. Let's see. I think priority would be ASL, to American Sign Language, because of how important it is. It is so important. So important. We were at a basketball game. Me and Brianna, that's here in the chat, but we were at a game the other day, and we didn't realize that one of the boys on my my brother's basketball team was deaf. So I was like, oh, we had no clue, and we saw the interpreter on the side of the bench like signing. And then I remember when I had substituted at his school before in the past, I was like, no, I knew that, because I remember being in his classroom with him and he had his interpreter with him, and I was asking the interpreter how I could say a few things to him, because I always try to be like, as you know, create an inclusive environment. So whatever students I have, I at least want to be able to greet them, you know, appropriately, and ask them for their name and whatever, you know, their native language is. So, but yeah, it's definitely super important. And then we went to another game, and there was like a like a row in front of us, and they all were like speaking in sign language, and I was just like, man, I definitely want to learn for sure. But yeah, that is nice. But they say when you are at the bare minimum, when you are bilingual, that it is easier to pick up languages, like new languages. But for us folks that don't only have one language, the struggle can be real picking up the second one. But I think that after you get the second one, that it you know, there's like patterns that to learning, I should say, that can be helpful. But yeah, all right. Well, I don't want to cut the live long. I mean, the live, I said long. The live short. But the game does start. I think the game, cousin, does the game start at 7? I think the game starts. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here so I can get inside. I see people walking inside. I want to say the game starts at 7. So I'm going to go ahead and go inside. But I hope you guys have a very blessed week. I can't wait to give you more updates on how things are going my way. All right. Bye.